Kobe and Gianna Bryant alive in plain sight with commentary by Mrmidnight Decipher. Now we're going to get down to it. You saw the photo of Kobe and Gianna together, the seating arrangement with Gianna being at the left and Kobe being at the right. You see the GEMATRIA of the number 41 has a prime factorization of 13. We see Kobe's name is 41 in GEMATRIA. Okay, we see his two numbers that were retired by the Lakers, 8 and 24. Okay, that's an 8. When you do the numerology on 24, it's a 6. So that is an 86. We see Memorial is 86 and 41. We see the syncage in the codes that are the backdrop of this ritual puppet script. And then we see the Beast Boy and Beast Girl having to always tell you the truth with McGrady saying that Kobe spoke this. Kobe wanted to be immortalized and idolized and be better than Michael Jordan. And then we see the selection of Alicia Keys hosting the Grammys that was at the Staples Center. She said it was a house built by Kobe. Her name equals 41. What a coincidence. Not a coincidence. It's not pronounced coincidence. It's pronounced coincidence. Okay? It's a cohesiveness. It's a cohesion to where you can see things that are a pattern that may align, that may allow you to know something more than what you actually see. The Simpsons, predictive programming. The Chamberlain Heights cartoon series, predictive programming. Kobe, the second most points in the game, and Wilt, the first most, right, with 100 points. Kobe 81. Then we see the checkerboard, the chessboard. Same thing, but this is a different game they're playing with you. These people are playing chess, black and white. It's a color of law. We see a white copper and we see a black copter. You know Kobe had a black copter, but all of a sudden we see a white one being involved when he supposedly crashed in. And then we see this agenda to change identities and to go from black to white. It's a big old club and you're not in it. How did Carlin say it? And then we see all of these actors, puppets, doing the same thing. Fouling with the black face. And then we see Dwayne Wade with the white face. Back to that 41 being the 13 prime number. Kobe was 41 and his daughter was 13. So we see the coordination in their ages with the GEMATRIA. And then we also see makeup, Kobe Bryant makeup available online. We see Kobe being shown in actual white face. We see also Kobe Bryant dressed in all white for a photo op, looking real special there. And then we see the pilot that was involved, Arazobian. We see a lot of coordination in that name, in the name of Kobe Bryant. We see Kobe Bryant featured in the Ghostbusters movie as a pilot. Wow, what a coincidence. And then we can see them side by side and we can see the similarities and the features. And we already know who we're dealing with, Hollywood, who have a high skill at transforming people into being someone else. And then we see the GEMATRIA behind the name of the pilot that matches with Kobe's name. And then we see Kobe Bryant's series of details. See, we got to look at the details. So he's telling you in everything that he's doing what's going on here. Then you see his poem, Dear Basketball, where he talks about selling his soul for basketball. He'll do anything. So don't tell me about, oh, he wouldn't do that and all this kind of stuff, because, I mean, this guy clearly wanted this. He got a Grammy for it. He's involved with Hollywood. Hollywood had a movie about his life with Michael B. Jordan playing his character. Remember the commercial? The memorial for him and Gianna was on February the 24th, like her number 2 and his number 24. Everything's been carefully coordinated and scripted to the T by the numbers. Then we see Michael Jordan. Oh, I guess he wants to try his hand at acting. He speaks at the memorial, convincing people with his fake tears that this is real. And then we go back to the predictive programming of the meme about him that was going around with him crying. And then he did it on stage, live on stage. And then we see Kobe getting in trouble for the Lakers about a rape charge and, joining the big boy club and faking tears and, showing that he wants to be more than just a basketball player. He can act too. He can be a box top puppet. Then we see the transformation of Kobe into the Black Mamba with his new tattoos, with a crown on his tattoo and a butterfly and, Project Monarch. And we see the Black Mamba snake come to the forefront with Kobe, and we see his fancy little logo with the snake wrapped around it. So you're dealing with the Mamba mentality here. We see him have his 81-point game against the Raptors, who just so happenly won the NBA championship in 2019. We see Kobe being Bryant. His name in GEMATRIA equals 81, like the points he scored in the game. And then we see a transformation of Kobe. He's throwing up the rock sign, the diamond. He's throwing that up. He was in Beyonce's Bugaboo video featured in there with football players, and then they just show a basketball player in there. Like, what is this about? We see Kobe getting his shoe deal with the horns. We see Kobe formulating a workout routine, the 666 workout. It's like, why would he name his workout 666? It just so happened that when he scored the 81 points against the Raptors, it was in his 666th game. Again, the 666 connection. We see Kobe throwing his signs up, throwing up the horns, throwing it up, banging on wax. Kobe was banged out. Okay? Kobe did not give a fuck about you or whatever you talking about. It was all about him. Game 666. The B shows you this. We see more predictive programming via social media. The guy who looks like Kobe on there saying that Kobe is going to end up dying in a helicopter crash. Now, this was in 2012. Predictive programming all over this ritual to let the people that pay attention know what's really going on here. The movie he did, the Black Mamba movie in 2011, where it says if you don't win this road game, you don't go home. With Kanye West, where the helicopter explodes. Just so happens on January the 25th, the Lakers played Philly away game, and LeBron passes Kobe for number 3, pushing Kobe to 4. And he passes away the next day on the 26th. The Wizard series that he did for children, a book of magic for children, so they can magically be like him. What does Kobe Bryant have in common with the coronavirus? For one, Kobe translates into COVID in Hebrew. Kobe was buried in Corona del Mar. Okay, and then this goes into another ritual where the energy is transferred into another ritual. And we see the movie The Mask starring Jim Carrey. The movie The Mask involves a man who puts on a mask and he transforms into a god named Loki. A god of the religion of a certain group of people. And this ritual is being carried out on a mass scale. We see Tiger Woods with the mask on doing his shaman ritual where he just couldn't win. At first he couldn't lose and then he couldn't win. And now he just won in 2019. Again, the 19 goes there. Corona is the area of the sun. We see the similarities in the symbolism of coronavirus and the corona of the sun. These people like to be very clever with what they're doing. We see the face mask statue. We see the ritual of the face mask going on here of you putting on a face mask. And we see the COVID symbolism again, and it looks like a basketball And these people are just passing the ball around. This is the game they're playing right now. They shut down all the sports so they could play this sport. Then we see Kobe in predictive programming synced up with the ritual wearing the black mask. Oh, we see LeBron also wearing a black mask. You know, it's like these guys, they have to play with masks on their face and they can still do it. You know. And then we see the other ballers in the league that, you know, they all pay tribute to this mask. It doesn't look like it's anything wrong with their noses, but they all wearing this mask. You see Joel Embiid wearing the mask. He plays for the Philadelphia 76ers where Kobe is from. Okay? And then we see this mask ritual is to get you to put that mask on your face and go into nature, the creator of the universe, through a shaming ritual so you can give all of your power to this puppet god that these people have. And they're very effective with what they're doing because people are actually doing this. It's incredible to see the amount of people walking around with face masks on. Like, do you know where you at? You don't wear a mask on Earth. What are you doing? Then we see the symptoms of the coronavirus actually come from you wearing a mask. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for you to breathe in about 2 weeks. You're gonna be changed during that time. And then they could lie about these numbers because they program people with numbers. We see the lunar eclipse that was on January the 10th, and they're talking about opening up on May the 15th. That's 126 days. Then we see there's a solar eclipse that's going to happen on June the 21st, which is an inversion of 126. You see, these events are happening in nature, in the universe, on Earth, and they like to sync their rituals up so they can cipher the power during those events. Very important events, and they use numbers to do this because the frequency is codified, and they can capture that with their carefully scripted puppets. And then you make it a reality because you don't use logic. You know, the capstone of the pyramid is missing, and that's logic. So your logic has been chipped off. And then we see the CDC, they want to come for the world. They're here for the world. And they're headed right there. It's a global thing. And then we see the United States. We see the mockery and the shaming of the United States. The United Snakes, what they eat. You know, part of mind control is what you put in your mouth. I mean, your mouth is right there next to your mind. So it's going to determine what you put in your mouth. And when you're eating genetically modified and genetically engineered animals, and then you're giving me this BS about how you get protein, when you get more protein from the real food that Mother Nature provides for you, who is the master chef, providing whatever you need to eat in abundance, specifically catered for your person, your body. And we can see the scientific evidence on how your physical composition changes with different things. And they know these things, and they do these things. They got the whole world under hypnosis, and we see the toilet paper ritual. And toilet paper has the same gematria as mind control. And then we can see how they're pulling this off with a computer they call the Beast. It's a supercomputer. It's a building, but it's a damn computer. That's a powerful computer that is scripting these things for them to do, and they just run with it, and they do it because they follow the Beast. Microchips is what the end game is. If they can get everyone microchipped in, then they can have complete control over their person via remote from the Beast. They can take their instruction from the Beast instead of Mother Nature, their creator. We see Bill Snake's involved. He's a snake. We see the snake with the mamba. He looks like a copperhead. And then we see the puppet family behind all of this madness. They've been doing this for generations. They own all of the corporations, all of the outlets, so they can implement mind control. And that's why these activities pay the most money. If you're involved with mind control, you're going to make a lot of money. They've been doing a lot of studying and research. And this AI technology is basically them syncing up computer programs with the brain and mimicking and copying the brain so that they can know how to program it. The mark of the beast right in your forehead. It's mind control. You under mind control. You need to wake up. We see what happens to the body and how different emotions cause different frequencies to appear. We see how your organically, naturally created by Mother Nature with heart, love, wisdom. And we see how that gets replaced by money, where you be co-opted and you're doing anything for money. And you're under major mind control to turn you into some smart dummies. You think you're smart. Now you're a crash test dummy. And then again, we see the seating arrangement for Kobe and Gianna. And then we can see clearly the same seating from left to right. And then we hear Alicia Keys give a tribute to Kobe and Gianna and announce that they're here with us today and spirit, and they're here with us today. She said it right in front of everyone. And the moment that she said that, Common looks right at them, and the cameraman captures every single part of this. And then they made sure that they interviewed Common at the end or at the beginning of the show to get his take on it. It was all part of the script. It's like the truth is right there in front of you in plain sight, but you have to use your mind. You have to recognize that
lost today are in our spirit, they're in our hearts, they're in our prayers, they're in this building. And I would like to ask everybody to take